All right, Scott Galloway is releasing another book on males and masculinity and men, boys becoming men. And he's been critical of Donald Trump and his variant of masculinity. Of course, Galloway is a more liberal commentator. He's a professor in New York. And I came across this article by Brad Wilcox, who was essentially talking about, reviewing Scott Galloway's latest book. He was talking about he's also a professor, and he's talking about his experience with the female students at the University of Virginia, where he teaches. And he was saying that a lot of these women are complaining that their brothers are just stuck at home playing video games, not really engaging in society. A lot of these females apparently complaining that their boyfriends were addicted to porn and all this other stuff. And they were concerned. And I was reading this, I was just thinking, it seems like they're not really concerned about the guys. They're not concerned about their brothers or their boyfriends or whatever. They're really concerned about their own prospects. That's really what they're concerned about. I'm seeing this in social media right now. There's women who are expressing some concern about the direction of men, young men, and their struggle. And I get the impression that they're not really worried about the young men struggling. They're worried about their own prospects. Like there's not going to be enough high-value men, so to speak, or the type of men that they're looking for available for them. And I think that's really what they're concerned about. And I just think it's really bizarre that people are surprised by what we're seeing. The birth rate declining. You're seeing decline in marriage rates, especially among the working class and middle class. People are genuinely shocked. I mean, after decades of men being depicted as incompetent, can't function out without women, we've seen that in commercials, we've seen that in sitcoms, we've seen that throughout the media. After this Me Too movement, which ultimately discouraged decent men from really asking women out at work, because in reality, predators are going to be predators, assholes are going to be assholes. They don't care. So, anyway. After all these campaigns of women don't need men and all this other stuff, after all this messaging, what did you expect? In the 70s they were talking about the future is female. Well, why didn't women ask more questions when they heard that stuff from feminists in the 1970s and 80s or whatever? The future is female. Because if you tell me the future is male, our first question is going to be, what the hell is going to happen to the women? You mean the future is male? That doesn't sound like a great future to me, but what happens to everybody else? That's my question. But I know people ask questions about that. I mean, I guess they're right. The future is female. And people didn't really think that through, what that means. What that means is you're going to have households they're going to rely on women in the workforce, because men won't be making enough money to support the family on their own. So that's what it means, on their own. What we have. This is a future. This is a situation that benefits corporations where they have families fragmented. At least it benefits them in the short term. We have these families fragmented and people without a work-life balance, people without real lives. And what you're seeing with a lot of young men is that it simply just isn't worth it. Participating in society isn't worth it anymore. They're going to get a bare minimum job, and they're not really going to really give a damn, because they don't have a wife or kids or really anything in this civilization to really fight for, really give them real ownership in the culture and in the community. So that's what it really all comes down to. A lot of men, they're not going to college because they're doing a cost-benefit analysis, and they're just not really interested. They realize it's going to be more problems than solutions. It's not going to have much of a benefit. So that's what you're seeing. That's why you're seeing a lot of men check out society. A lot of men struggling. A lot of this is just men just saying that, I'm sick of it. And check it out. We have the school systems that's catered towards women. We have a lot of institutions catered towards women, and that's cool. But you got to think about if you don't have a balance, if you don't have systems that accommodate both men and women, because we need both men and women, then you're going to have a certain type of outcome, and we're looking at the effect of that. And I think the politicians are concerned because it's affecting the taxes, the tax base. With the Social Security situation, you're going to have less people paying into the system, and that means that the system is going to be compromised pretty soon, because you're going to have, since you have less men building families, having kids and all that stuff, you're going to have a situation where, hey, you're going to have a lot less taxpayers, a lot less tax income, and as a result, you have political leaders who are concerned about men's lack of progress because of that, because they want more wage slaves. Women are more concerned about it because they're worried about their prospects. But really, nobody really gives a damn about men. And I mean, I get it. I mean, that's just the nature of being a man. The world doesn't care about you, and you're expected to be a provider. You're expected to protect. But when you don't have anything to protect, there's really no need to provide. I think that's what we're looking at. Share your thoughts.